Okay, welcome everybody. This is Gaming and Still Life. This is your host Rich, and today I'm going to be covering my final review of the Oculus Quest. Is it worth your money? Well, it all depends on what you're looking for in VR. Now, the first generation of headsets that came out for VR came out around 2016, and basically they were tethered to your computer, and you would have to put sensors on your wall in order to be able to track the headset and the controllers in real time through 3D space. Now, recently we've moved away from that, and a lot of headsets, kind of like the Rift S, have adopted a inside out tracking where you don't have to have the trackers on the walls anymore, but now you have the trackers in the headset, which do all the tracking. Now there's some advantages and there's some disadvantages to either one. Now remember, the Rift had a resolution, and this is important, of 1200 by 1080. Now, if you're looking at a newer headset that just came out, this has 1280 by 1440 in each eye, and when you get to the Quest, it has an even higher resolution of 1440 by 1600. But sometimes in VR, resolution doesn't matter as much unless you're talking about the sub-pixel display available for the headsets. Now this headset uses a pin-tile display. It has an OLED, and everything you need is inside this case right here. Now this does not come with the case. You have to buy it separately for $40, but the headset retails for $399 US. One of the first headsets that came out from Oculus that was completely portable was an Oculus Go. Now, the main differences between the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Go is that the Oculus Quest uses something that's called 6 degrees of freedom compared to the Go, which only had 3. Now, basically, the only thing that you could do on the Quest is that you would be at a fixed point and you could look left and right, up and down, okay? But you couldn't move side to side, back and forth, and forward and back. So if you were, for example, sitting at this desk, I couldn't like look around the microphone or look to the side of the desk. I would be basically stuck to this point and just be allowed to move like this, but I couldn't move around the object. Now, this headset allows you to do full 6 degrees of motion, everything built in to the Snapdragon processor. Now, the original Oculus Go used an 821 Snapdragon. This uses a more advanced 835 Snapdragon processor, the same processor that is in the Galaxy S8. In this headset that I've noticed from using it, it's got something called foveated rendering. And basically that is something that allows for the center of the image to be sharper, but everything concentrically outside of it to be rendered a little less sharp. So basically wherever you're really looking at is sharp, but then when you start like staring around to the corner of the edges of the lens, you'll notice that the image will not be quite as sharp. Now that doesn't happen in every experience, but it is noticeable in some, especially with games that are more heavy on the processor, like for example Vader Immortal. I didn't notice it. Now there's also a pass-through function, very similar like its bigger brother, the Rift. Now the pass-through function allows for you to see the outside of your surroundings at any time, which is in stereo, in monochromatic stereo, and so you can see the vision of your boundaries. Now, the setup of the boundaries is quick and simple. It literally takes about 15 seconds or less to do. Now, the cameras are very sensitive to certain light and condition. You do have to have at least a light turned on in the room, and this headset is meant to be used indoors. They will not work outside in the sun, and it actually is very dangerous to use it in the sun, because if the sun hits these lenses, it kind of works like a magnifying glass, and it will burn the very sensitive, delicate components that are on the inside, and that's something that you don't want to do. Another important thing that you want to make sure is in the room that you're using is that you want to have not a lot of reflective surfaces, mirrors, screen, TVs, because sometimes that will confuse the tracking technology. And also, if you set your boundaries in a room where things get moved around a lot of times you're going to have to redo those boundaries in order for the headset to be able to recognize that room. Now, this does have a much lower frame rate as some of the other headsets. For example, the original Rift and the original Vive came out at 90 Hertz displays. The new Rift S is coming at 80 Hertz, and this is clocked in at 72 Hertz or 60 depending on the experience. Now, what I've found is I haven't noticed any perceivable difference in the gameplay just because it's running at a lower Hertz. I have not been able to notice that, and also if you notice, this does not have any integrated headphones. The speakers are piped through the arms, and actually they work really well, and they give you really good spatial 3D sound. Now, it does come with a optional insert that you can put in for glasses wear. It is just a plastic piece that easily fits into the headset right here, and then you just add the mask that it comes with, and you're ready to go with glasses. I did order some custom Widmo lens inserts that haven't got it here yet, but when they do, I will let you know how well they work. Now, the buttons can be set to, the menu buttons can be set to long presses or double clicks, but they are just almost flush to the end, so they're kind of hard to push unless you're intentionally pushing them. Now, there is a 10-foot USB-C cable with an L bracket that comes with the headset that is available for charging, and the headset is able to be played while plugged in at the same time. You can also purchase, for example, an Anker battery pack that you can fix to the headset, or you can just stick it in your pocket and add a cable, and that will allow you to be able to play for much longer sessions while still remaining fairly portable without having too many wires hanging off of you. Now, one of the biggest things is this worth your money? I'm coming from a background from PC VR, and I am used to the high fidelity, high graphics that only a PC can deliver. Now, that statement, I was completely wrong. This headset is my true belief that with enough experience, that anything that is on PC VR can be done on this. Everything that I've seen is just spectacular. It blew me away. The graphics that they can achieve with a Snapdragon 835 are way beyond my imagination. This is something to get excited about. No cables. The battery lasts about 2.5 to 3 hours depending on the experience, and it's only going to get better from here. A lot of the experience, especially I got to play Creed, and that looked just as good as the PC counterpart. I got to play Rush on this, and it was just phenomenal. And one of the greatest things that Oculus is doing is, for a lot of their games, is these developers are going back and they're rebuilding their games to work with a whole different architecture, and they're allowing you to have something like cross-buy. So if you had, or if you buy the Rift version, you're automatically going to get it on the Quest if it comes available on the Quest. Now, there are certain key games that aren't participating in that, but Oculus has left it to the developer on a developer by developer basis, which I think is just spectacular. I really do feel that anything is capable in this headset, and a lot of the things that are coming out for PC, I'm pretty confident that they will come out for this headset. This headset has been nothing but a hit, and you know that already. So if you're on the fence about getting this, don't be. This is absolutely the future, and I can't wait to see some of the software that is going to be coming available. Some of the new experiences. Just the freedom of not having a cable is just so gratifying and so unbelievable. And I think that is a common theme that you're going to be hearing from this review, is how excited and just how blown away and how wrong I was about this headset, because I thought that I was just going to be a graphics junkie and that I was not going to like it, but I was just blown away. I really am. So I'm giving this headset a 10 out of 10 in every category. I think they did a phenomenal job. As far as the comfort issue, as long as you wear it right. See these arms? If these arms aren't parallel to the headset, if somebody's wearing it and it looks like this, they're wearing it wrong. This back part right here cups your head so well in the back. So as long as you have this nice and cupped right here in the back, it's going to fit just fine. Now, you have to tighten it with the side straps, according to the person, and up here. Now, one thing that I really wished that they would have done is, I think it would have been better if this halo design was put on this, and then this strap design was put on this. And the reason I say that is because when you're at a party, and I have taken to a party, it's a lot harder for people, especially who have no history with a headset like this, is putting it on and tighten it up, and you have to do it for them, and it's really hard to do it for somebody else. Now with the halo design, it's a lot easier. You just boom, 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 tighten in the back, you're done pretty much. With this, it's a lot more to it, so I did find that part a little bit more difficult. And I took recently to a birthday party, and nobody has heard of the Oculus Quest. Nobody's seen a commercial. Nobody knew what it was. Nobody, until I said Facebook was involved, they're like, oh, that's the only thing they've heard of. Out of 30 to 40 people at the party, not one person had heard about it. So, Oculus, do something. Market it. You got to do something, because you need to find more people that have heard about this thing and spread the word. But I think that's the only way that this is really going to become popular, is from people taking it out, showing other people, and them getting excited about VR too. But unfortunately, at the party I was at, there's only like one person that was like, oh, I want to buy one. But other than that, I think most people just don't want to put something on their face. But hopefully that will change over time as the technology gets more advanced and gets lighter. I think adoption will increase. Now the headset is a little bit front heavy, but that can be alleviated as long as you put the headset on right. If this is cupping your back of your head right, then the headset is not so bad. But it is more heavy than the other headsets. Other than that, I can't think of any other negatives to say. Now, as far as the controllers are just like the Rift S. They do take one battery, and there is a magnetic cover. These are one of the best controllers out in VR right now. Easily, they are well built, they're affordable, but I think the construction of the ring is a little bit, I don't know, more weak. Is that what I should say? Weaker than the original touch controllers. You do have to be careful not to drop these. I do think that if you drop them, there's a good possibility that they will break. The batteries, so far I have the original batteries. They do last a while, but you have to know that in intense situations that these covers will feel like this is slipping off, but they usually go right back. But that little bit of slippage causes you to break a little bit out of an immersive game. Other than that, I do love the controllers. The batteries are pretty good in it, and the optics are just as good, if not better, than the Rift S. There is an IPD adjustment, there is a volume rocker, and there is 4 wide field cameras that are in each corner of the headset, which does allow for much better tracking than the Windows Mixed Reality headsets. So it is an advance on that part. So there's nothing bad I can say. Let me know in the comments if you are still on the fence, if you've gotten one. Do you like your headset? Is there anything that I didn't mention in the comments that I think people should know about? Let me know in the comments. Remember, give me a thumbs up if you like the video, a thumbs down if you don't. If you don't like the video, let me know what I can do better to make my videos better. And if you ever have any questions or any trouble, just message me on my most recent video, and I will be more than happy to try to help you out, because I've seen it all. I might not be the best on computers, but I'll do my best to try to help you out. So thank you very much. You guys have a great night, and I will see you next video. Thank you.